Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 2 of my 365-day English journey. Let's start. Yesterday, I uploaded my very first video. When I listened back to my own voice, it felt so strange. My English was very slow. My pronunciation was far from perfect. My jaw muscle felt a bit stiff. But you know what? I did not delete the video. I chose to be proud of my first step. Day 1 is behind me now. Every new day brings a fresh chance to learn, a fresh chance to improve our lives. Today, I want to talk about a very special topic, traveling with kids. Do you have kids? Do you like traveling with your family? As a father, I love my family very much. My kids are the most important thing in my life. But traveling with kids is not easy. It is a big challenge for every father. It is very different from traveling alone. When you travel alone, life is very simple. You just pack one small bag. You put on your favorite shoes. You grab your jacket. You get on the bus. You can go anywhere you want. You can sleep anytime you want. You can eat at any restaurant. You feel completely free. You don't have to worry about anyone else. But when you travel with kids, everything changes. Everything becomes different. You cannot be fast. You cannot be reckless. You cannot just wake up and go. You need a very clear plan. You need to prepare everything in advance. You have to think about food. You have to think about sleep. You have to think about clothes. Last summer, my family went on a summer trip. We decided to go to the beach. My kids love the ocean. They love playing with sand. Before the trip, we had to pack our luggage. Packing luggage for kids is a massive job. It is like moving your whole house into a car. My wife and I spent 3 full hours packing in our living room. We packed many pairs of clothes. We packed warm jackets. We packed hats for the sun. We packed swimming suits. We packed small toys. We packed storybooks. We packed 3 boxes of fresh milk. We packed small biscuits and snacks. We packed water bottle. We even packed medicine for fever and stomach pain. You must be prepared for every problem. After 3 hours, we had 4 big bags. We had 2 small backpacks. Our living room was completely full of luggage. Looking at all those heavy bags, I felt a bit tired already. I sat on the sofa and sighed. I told my wife, we haven't left the house yet, but I feel like I ran a marathon. My wife laughed and agreed with me. The next morning, our trip officially started. We woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The sky was still dark. The air was cool and fresh. We loaded all the heavy bags into the trunk of our car. The trunk was completely full. We woke up the kids. They were still sleepy. We put them in their car seat. We buckled their seat belts. Finally, we were on the road. At first, the trip was very pleasant. The kids woke up after 30 minutes. They were very excited. They looked out the car window. They saw green trees. They saw big cows on the grass. They potted at big trucks. They sang happy songs together. My wife played soft music in the car. The whole atmosphere was full of joy and happiness. I smiled and thought, this trip is going to be so easy. But I was wrong. After 2 hours of driving, the situation changed completely. The highway was very long. The landscape became boring. The kids got tired of sitting in one place. Their legs felt uncomfortable. They wanted to move around. They stopped singing. They started to feel restless. They began to argue with each other over a small toy. Then the classic problem started. My youngest kid started to whine. He said, "Dad, I'm hungry." 2 minutes later, my oldest kid said, "Dad, I'm hot." And then both of them asked together, "Dad, are we there yet?" 3 minutes later, they asked again, "Dad, are we there yet?" They asked that same question 10 times in 15 minutes. Have you ever heard that question on a family trip? Are we there yet? It is the most famous line from every kid in the world. In that moment, inside the car, as a driver and a father, you can feel your stress level rising. The noise is loud. Your head starts to hurt. Your hands grip the steering wheel tightly. You feel your patience running out. In the past, I used to handle this situation very poorly. I used to lose my temper quickly. I used to turn around and shout, "Be quiet, stop asking." But shouting never helped. Shouting only made the kids feel scared. They would start crying loudly. The car would become full of negative energy. That is very bad approach. This time I decided to change my reaction. I remembered an important rule. Patience is key. Yes, patience is key when you're traveling with young kids. I took a deep breath. I relaxed my shoulders. I saw a small coffee on the side of the road. I pulled the car over. I stopped the engine. I opened the car doors. The fresh outdoor air came in. I had the kids get out of the car. We walked around for 5 minutes. I bought some cold bottled water. I bought 2 small cups of chocolate ice cream for the kids. We sat together on a wooden bench under the big green tree. We ate ice cream slowly. I looked at my kids' face. They had chocolate ice cream all over their mouths. I looked so innocent and cute. All my stress and anger disappeared immediately. I told myself, "Take it easy, David. You are on holiday with your family. There is no need to rush. The destination is not the only important thing. The road is important too." When I relax my mind, my wife relaxes too. When the parents are calm, the kids feel safe and happy. After 20 minutes of resting, we got back into the car. The kids were happy again. They drank water. They felt asleep peaceful for the rest of the drive. The rest of the journey was smooth and quiet. Finally, after 4 hours of driving, we arrived at the beach resort. We parked the car. As soon as I opened the car door, we could smell the salty ocean air. We could hear the sound of the ocean waves, the sun shining bright in the blue sky. The kids opened their eyes. They saw the big blue sea. All their talents disappeared in 1 second. They shouted with excitement. They didn't even wait for us to unpack the luggage. They pulled out their shoes. They ran straight toward the sand beach. My wife and I carried the heavy bag to our room. Then we walked down to the beach. We sat on the warm and sand under a big umbrella. We watched our kids play near the water. They were building a huge sandcastle. They filled small buckets with seawater. They ran away from the cold waves, laughing out loud. I sat there, listening to their laughter. I looked at their bright, happy eyes. At that exact moment, I had a deep realization. I realized something truly beautiful. Yes, traveling with kids is extremely hard work. It requires a lot of planning. It costs a lot of money. It uses up a lot of your physical energy. You have to carry heavy luggage. You have to deal with tantrum and crying. You get much as less sleep compared to travel alone, but it gives you something far more valuable. It gives you priceless memories. Those bright smiles, those silly jokes, that pure laughter are the most precious things in the entire world. Money cannot buy them those moments. Time moves very fast. Kids grow up faster than we think. Today, they are small. They want to hold your hand. They want to play with you. They ask you a hundred questions every day. But tomorrow, they will be teenagers. Soon after, they will be adults. They will go to university. They will move to other cities. They will have their own busy life. They will not ask to hold your hand anymore. They will not ask you to build sandcastle. So every trip we take with them today is a precious gift. Every chaotic moment on the road is a memory we will treasure when we are old. Learning English is very much like traveling with kids. Think about it for a moment. When you start learning English as a beginner, the road is very long. You cannot rush. You cannot run fast. You have to carry a lot of heavy words in your head. Sometimes your brain gets very tired. Sometimes you make silly mistakes. You forget words you learned yesterday. You feel frustrated. You feel like shouting and quitting. You ask yourself, am I there yet? Why is my English still so slow? When that happens, you must give yourself the same advice. Take it easy. Stop rushing. Pull your car over and take a short rest. Do not be angry with your brain. Be patient with yourself. Language learning is not a short race. It is a long family trip. You need to learn step by step. You need to practice bit by bit. Every simple word you speak at today is like one small step on the beach. Every short sentence you practice is like building one small sandcastle. Enjoy the process. Do not just focus on being perfect. Yesterday, in episode 1, we talked about making a new decision to start again. Today, in episode 2, we talk about traveling with kids and learning the power of patience. A good father needs a lot of patience. A successful English learner needs patience too. When you have patience, you don't panic when you make mistakes. You don't quit when things get hard. You just smile, take a deep breath, and keep moving forward every single day, rain or shine. My English is still very slow today. My pronunciation is far from perfect. My mouth still feels a bit awkward when I pronounce new words, but I am not anxious anymore. I accept my slow speed. I accept my daily mistakes. I am truly enjoying it with this quiet time every night. Sitting here in my room, speaking into this microphone is my own way of building discipline. It's my own journey of growth. Tonight, after I finishing this recording, I will go to my kids' bedroom. I will check their blankets. I will kiss them on their foreheads. Then I will sit at my desk and prepare 5 simple words for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow, in episode 3, we will talk about another great topic for men. We will talk about physical health, exercise, and how to keep your body strong and full of energy. I am really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Remember, be patient with your kids, be patient with your English, and enjoy every single step of your journey. That's all for today. If you support my journey, please hit subscribe and leave a comment below. Have a peaceful day and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.